often transfer students are looked at as outsiders because you come from outside areas, so a lot of people already have their friend group, their study groups, they already may have their major picked out already, but as you come from a transfer student, a lot of things are more up in the air. So when you come and meet students like yourself, it gives you that confidence, you know what I mean, to make you feel like you belong here. There's other people here like me. I was born and raised in St. Paul, Minnesota, on the east side, to be exact. I lived in the same house since I was 5 years old. You know what I mean? So I have lots of memories in my neighborhood, especially my house. And growing up, it was a lot of sports, lots of sports, and lots of playing around with my friends, just like close knit between my friends and family. I would say for sure. I'm a first generation college student. I'm the oldest as well out of 8 siblings. So like, it's important that, like, I kinda set the precedent for them because I got, like, a lot of eyes watching and stuff. So every move I make, I got a lot of eyes watching behind me, so I'm just trying to make the right decisions. I graduated from Harding High School in St. Paul in 2015, and I went to St. Cloud State University the following year for a year. I wanted to come back home, and I felt like and I just got accepted to the U, so I felt like that was a great opportunity and great timing. So I came back home and went to the U, and it was I definitely say it was a good experience for me and a good decision. I chose CLA after taking an ID transfers course. My counselor, after coming here, she told me to take a transfer course that might help me kind of figure out what I want to do. I didn't have an idea of a major when I transferred to the U, so I wasn't in a college at all. I was just taking my class, my generals and stuff. So my counselor recommended I take a transfer career exploration class for transfer students, and Abby Trout was my professor in the course. And me and Abby kicked it off. We kicked it off very good. Like, I felt the sincere caring from her, and I can't say I felt that in my past. Like, a sincere care from a professor or a teacher. Like, she consistently cared. Like, she consistently put in the effort to make sure I was satisfying all my requirements, but not just my academic requirements, but making sure I was okay on a personal level. She knew it was hard for me coming to the school as a transfer student, and she knew that I wasn't like a very talkative person. She definitely knows I'm an introvert, so she paid attention to that and kind of like she kind of like she definitely she encouraged me to come out of my shell. I would say a lot. Like, she made me feel really at home. Like, she made me feel really comfortable there. I wasn't feeling out of order. Like, when I first came to the school, it's a really big school, you know what I mean? So it's often easy to just like fall between the cracks, as they say. Like, you could just be a statistic, you just be another student here, easily caught up. Like, but she made me feel like I was a value, like I had a place here, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you're a value to this school, you know what I mean? Like, you play a part here. So just her giving me that feeling and showing me, like, yeah, you need to network with these people. They need to hear what you have to say. You can be of help to them. They can be of help to you. Like, just her putting that like instilling that confidence in me and kind of like making me like, no, you don't have to be such an introvert. Like, I know you're quiet and I understand you're being an introvert, but there's times you have to step out of that shell to get where you want to go. Cause she asked me, like, where are your goals in life? Like, that's what really got me. She said, where are your goals? And then how can I get to them? And then once she was helping me and like checking my progress to reach those goals, that's what really drew me into CLA. And then I realized that other people in CLA are just like her and they have sincere feelings for their students too. And so it was like it was like a no-brainer after that. I wanted to go into public policy. Like, I wanted to have something to do with policy because I'm from an urban, like I said, I'm from St. Paul. I'm from an urban area. If you guys are not familiar with St. Paul, it's a very urban area. And I want to be able to represent underrepresented areas that don't have much of a say, like, as I feel like they should, or they don't have the representation for them. Like, So that was, I feel like policy was a way for me to be able to make that stamp and be able to impact my neighborhood. So political science and being able to affect policy through political science, I felt like was the best way. Though that CLA. That's why I chose CLA. Students United is a nonprofit organization based out of the St. Paul, Minnesota. So basically, we're advocates for students through the Minnesota State universities. Past, present, and future. And I got this experience through CLA because Abby Trout, my supervisor, still helps me to this day. She's the one that seen this internship opening for me, and she knows my professional development goals, and she said I feel like this would be a good fit for what you're looking for. I looked at the position, the listing, looked perfect for what I was looking for. I applied, got the interview, and it's been the best thing I could have ever asked for. Like seriously, it's just being in the nonprofit, and it's actually giving me the ability to be able to do something that I care about. I'm the development intern, so I'm in charge of our scholarship outreach plan. So I was in charge of creating a scholarship outreach plan, which is basically we have lots of scholarships and lots of scholarship funds that we have in our organization, and we look to give them out to students. So my job was to promote these to students, and I know firsthand how many students in urban communities and underrepresented areas like the one that I'm from. Like I know how many kids from high school that I went with that could be that could be in at the University of Minnesota or college just like me if they would have had knew about scholarships or they would have knew about certain scholarships. You know what I mean? So just me being able to promote these and go to schools that I used to go to and go to my old school I graduated from and just be able to like firsthand put these resources in these schools through this internship that I got from CLA, like that means so much to me. Like seriously, it does because I just want to give back to my communities and communities like mine. And to me to be able to do that before I even graduate, like it just gives me so much confidence of what I can do when I do graduate. Like it just gets the ball rolling seriously on all the potential that you can have. I want to become a director of a nonprofit organization, or I want to become a criminal defense attorney.
Sound like pretty different paths.
Yeah, so my determinant is law school. That's my deciding factor. So but that's my if I haven't decided if I want to go to law school yet, but that'll be the deciding factor if I want to become a criminal defense attorney or not. But I actually want to I want to work in the nonprofit sector for a little bit, just because I already have an internship in it right now for Students United, so I'm getting my experience for it. So I'm kind of filling it out, and I feel like this is the perfect position for me for it right now because I can fill it out and determine if that's what I want to do. So now when I'm done with internship, I have the experience to know whether I want to continue, to try to like become a director in nonprofits, or if I want to go to law school and become a criminal defense attorney. I don't want to really, become a deal with nonprofit organizations anymore because I will know that now because I've had the experience as an intern now. I've been in the setting. I've done work in nonprofits now, so now I understand how they work better, so I can understand if this is really something I want to pursue with the rest of my life. You know what I mean? I would say career fairs are definitely like a vital part of CLA opportunities, like career fairs and resume reviews, because these are things that we want to get our degree so we can probably like have some type of career in a professional field. So just being able to go to a career fair and shake hands with employers and conduct yourself in a professional manner, give people your resumes, like even if you're not applying for jobs at the moment, it's just good practice for when you do apply for jobs because like I said, I was an introvert, so it was hard for me to, I didn't really speak unless spoken to, so it was hard for me to go to a fair and walk up to somebody and shake their hand and introduce myself and tell them what I'm looking for and if they can fit my needs, if I can fit their needs. So me going to a career fair that CLA offers, and they offer so many fairs like that can help you with your professional development. Like that just is. I feel like it often goes overlooked because people don't realize the value in that. And going up to and practicing shaking hands with an employer and passing out your resume to them and just holding a simple professional conversation for a few minutes. Like you don't realize how important that is until you're in the real world after you graduate and you have to get a career. So now when I go to interviews and whoever's interviewing me, I shake their hand and speak to them. I feel more confident because I know I've done this before now, and I've done this multiple times. So it gives me much more confidence, and now I don't have to worry about all the jitters all the time. Like at the beginning, it's not all about jitters now. It's more of a sudden I can focus on going in there and doing what I went in there to do. You know what I mean? So I would definitely say that those career days, and then practice. We got practice interviews as well. So those are just as vital. You have a practice interview with employers, and I would say and they give you feedback as well. So that's what I would say is very important about the practice interviews. They give you feedback, so you can apply that to yourself in your next interview. You know what I mean? So when you get your real interviews, you know what not to do and what to do better from your past interviews. And one more thing that I would say, an event that was definitely important for my development here through CLA was resume reviews, because you're always giving out resumes to whether you're applying for internships, jobs, um, always you have to give out resumes. So getting your resume reviewed, I would definitely say is important. And then them telling you like you don't they don't give you, I would say when you get your resume reviewed, they don't give you like strict commands on what to do, with your resume, but they help you elaborate on your experience. Like they'll help you think about what you did here. So when you're fixing your resume or when you edit it after, like you'll be able to articulate your experiences better because they will help you think about what you've done through the career core competency. They'll ask you like how have you advanced your written or oral communication through this experience? Have you have this advanced your analytical or critical thinking? Like it'll make you think about things like that, and it'll definitely help elaborate all of your experiences just by going to a resume review. It's just giving you a jump start. It's just basically CLA is giving you a jump start. You know what I mean? It's giving you an opportunity to get a jump start on your field or whatever you want to do on your professional development, your personal development, your career development, whatever you want to do. It's just giving you a jump start and be able to do so. It's giving you the resources to be able to do so. Even if you just want to talk to somebody about like how your classes are going, like they have people you can talk to about like that as well. Like there's a lot of resources in CLA for sure. I would say was when I sat down. It wasn't even in a classroom setting. It was when I went to a teacher in office hours, a professor in office hours, in CLA. His name was Joseph Waldenese. He's still here as well. Yeah. So I went to his office hours, just asking him about a question in class, and it turned into a 2.5 hour conversation past his office hours and all. And it was so simple. It was about a prompt. It was about a prompt on a midterm paper. And I just had a question about the prompt. And he began to break down the prompt into every aspect. Like he was so analytical with it. So it was like we just sat there analyzing like literally like two sentences for 2.5 hours. And it was crazy because I didn't realize that it could be that deep. Like I didn't realize things could be evaluated so deeply until speaking with him, and he just broke everything down for me about how each thing you can deeply evaluate and how it can be so critical to analyze certain things, and how you got to pay attention to details. This one little detail can be the determinant between success and failure. Like so that just really changed my mindset. I would say like it really changed the trajectory of my mind. Like it made me break down things in my everyday life more so. Like it's like it made me realize that there's 10 steps to each thing. You know what I mean? Like it's not just it looks simple, but everything looks simple, but there's much more complex activity behind it. You know what I mean? Like it's not as easy as it looks all the time. So that just him just instilling that into me, and then that just made me like take it further. Like we just advanced that conversation to even instill to like even to working harder, like how critical thinking makes you work harder, and it kind of like we compared it to basketball, like how the more you work, practice on your skill, we compared it to critical thinking. Like the more you hone your craft, you work on it, you get the better result. Nobody sees how much you put into the end result, but that tedious work you do each day, like I even showed him this has something I have been doing since I came to the university, but I would take a notepad of words I didn't know. So, cause when I came here, there was a disconnect, I would say, in vocabulary. I didn't understand some of the things that students were saying, and students didn't like understand a lot of the things that I would say. I don't know, it's just like a disconnect in the way we spoke, I guess. But so I would begin to like take just like random words I didn't know and just take a notepad of them. And he would tell me like that that's critical in deep evaluation. Like you're going the extra mile. Like you think you're not going the extra mile, but you are, you know what I mean? Like you can do this because you've shown yourself you can do this. You're already putting in the work, but you have to show that confidence in yourself too to be able to perform this. You know what I mean? Like so, like just I didn't know it was that deep to even think about it like that. Like just that critical and deep evaluation. I didn't even know you could even think about it like that. And for him to even put it into terms that I was comfortable with, like sports and basketball, because he knew like that's something that I had an interest in. Like that was another thing that had made me so happy that I was a part of CLA, because I knew right then and there like he wanted to make a personal connection with me, because he knew that would help shine the light on what he was trying to show me in the academic light. You know what I mean? Like he knew that would make the correlation for me. He knew it would make it easier for me. And just like them being able to connect with me on a personal level and on an academic level makes the journey so much more rich and so much just so much more impactful. It's bittersweet because all of the good connections and all of the good people that I won't be able to see, on a more everyday basis as I was. But it's like I would say it's more sweet than bitter, because I know the same people that I'm not gonna be seeing as much, they want me to go. They want me to go do better and go on with this with this part of my life. They want me to reach this stage, and they've been pushing me forward, to it. They've been pushing me to this point. So it's definitely bittersweet leaving, but it's definitely more sweet, and I'm so happy I could finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like so happy I could finally say that I'll be graduating at the end of the semester, and it's been a long journey, a long road, but just happy, and it shows you hard work pays off. Just stay focused. Hard work pays off. I am Malik Samuel, and this is my CLA story.